Come on and wait, wait. It's a bad hair day. I'm gonna wear the hat. I have one of those like every day. Oh, you know what I didn't do last night? I didn't get no turpentine. I meant to do it when I left here, and then I got caught up with was watching Turkish Delight do his thing. It's one of the newer streamers, it looks like, or at least he's just starting to expand. I forgot to do a lot of stuff last night. That's alright. It's gonna be a nice weekend. Maybe I'll come in here and do some cleaning up and. Oh, who am I kidding? I know my honeydew list this weekend will be like terrible. Come on and wade way out into the water with me. We're drowning on dry land. Alright, so I got a little cerulean blue. This will be a shocker. It's gonna go in the sky. Spoilers. Alright, so we said we're going to kind of give this like a little bit of an archway, right? Give it like a little bit of style. The, oh, God damn it. I don't want to listen. Let's see if it works. Come on, dude. Let's go. She's not hitting it tonight. We're going to end up putting on Bach. Listen to it like literally all day. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Left my home in Georgia, I headed for the Frisco Bay. I got nothing to live for. Looks like nothing's gonna come my way. So just to sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything seems to stay the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones. This loneliness won't leave me alone. 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Wasting time. There is something about that song that does bother me. I've mentioned this before. But like, he says 2,000 miles I roamed to make the docks his home, but he left his home in Georgia to headed for the Frisco Bay. That's a lot farther than 2,000 miles. Somebody's bad at math. In the city of LA, in the city of good old Watts, in the city of Compton, we keep it rockin', we keep it rockin'. And welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. A track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. We in that sunshine state with a bomb-ass end beat. Pimp speed. Lean, mean, money, making machines, turning fiends. 7 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon, now it's 95 and they clock me and watch me diamond shining, looking like I robbed Liberace. It's all good. Whoop. Alright, I guess this palette is entirely cerulean blue. That's the point. No point. Waste not, want not. Come here, come here, come here. Stop running away from me. I don't have money to waste this shit. Come on, get your ass up there. Cerulean's expensive. Keep it rocking. We keep it rocking. Shake, shake, baby. Shake, shake. Give me a second, I'll put on the reference photo. I'm gonna run out soon, so I know I'm gonna have to refill, so. So let's step on the stage, and I'm hearing Hoochie screaming. Guess I could add like cobalt blue on here, because I mean, that won't really affect too much, right? Like on the, it's gonna be in the, up here anyway, but. That's like a chunk? Where the fuck did a chunk come from? I mean, this is fresh. This is not like something I had out already. Literally slapped it. I mean, I might pick some up from the top of the easel. That makes sense. I mentioned the other night about how I ended up getting like 2 of the exact same catalog but with different names on them. Like I got one from Utrecht and one from Dick Blick, but they're the same company now. And it's funny that, like, now, as I said, it cracked me up that they sent me 2 of the exact same thing. Primarily just because I've ordered from Dick Blick. I mean, there's no reason for them to send 2, but they still try to advertise under the Utrecht brand, and they try to advertise under Dick Blick. So it's, under Blick now, just Blick. And it made me laugh, but then again, I also have to laugh at the fact that I joke with my wife that it's like that's basically like my Playboy, or Hustler or whatever. Like I'm like, yeah, I could probably pound one out to these catalogs when they come in. Look at those big easels, the big freaking nice, like they're like 8 feet tall, big freaking wooden ones. I'm like, oh, I could paint giant canvases with little brushes. Alright, let me get that down. Let's get the reference photo up here, eh? Throw it up! I can't see you! Come on, like Tupac says, man. Throw it up, throw it up. I can't see anybody on here. I also can't type. There you go. And what else was I going to say? just get all this shit out of the way. And there you go. All that shit's done now. I want to again thank Dirkish Delights for the follow late last night. Pretty sure I said it on here, but I just want to make sure. I like to give my shout outs. I also want to thank Tomcat, THOM. It's much appreciated. Just because I've been shedding followers recently, and it's kind of disconcerting. And also want to thank somebody, I don't know who, again, I have no means of checking that stuff, I just know that when sales have occurred. Somebody had purchased a beach towel of the Asuka Tanbo Tori no Machi mode study I'd done of Hiroshige, it's of Hiroshige's Asuka Tanbo Tori no Machi mode. But somebody purchased a beach towel like that, and I was like, so I'm appreciative of that. And somebody also bought a print today of the Horse Shed in Winter. This thing's brother here. Is it brother? Cousins? I don't know whether. I guess they're brothers. It's just like slightly older brother. Like this is like the Irish twin of the Horse Shed in Winter. Actually, come to think of it, it's like, it is kind of funny, like, I can almost think of, like I said, this is now going to finish a series. It didn't start as a series, it was not planned as such. It's just that I had done this painting I call The Harvest back in 2001, and it is what it sounds like it is. It's basically just like a, it's a still life, but it's potatoes and pumpkins and green and red apples, and same size canvas as this, and then after my breakdown, when I finally started painting again after 3 years, I wanted to do something simple, so I did a view of tulips, and it was on the same size canvas, and again I wasn't really planning anything, and then in January I did the Horse Shed in Winter, and that's what I was like, dude, I have one for like every season except for summer. And I was like, that's funny, I should make that a series. So I mean, that's how it came to be. But it's kind of funny, like if you think about like the way my kids in real life were kind of came to be. My oldest daughter is 10 years older than her brother. I mean, it was a long gap, It was like it was a long gap between The Harvest and its brother, I guess. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Only difference is I only have 3 children, and I am not planning on a 4th. Because honestly, after Sophia, I don't think we can take it. I love her to death, man, but I like to point out, when my wife and I were dating, and I tell a lot of fake stories about my wife on here, I know that, but this is not one of them. When my wife and I were dating, we were getting pretty serious. We started talking about, families and whatnot, and, what we would potentially want in the future. And I said, like my size family, like my brother and my sister, like 3 is cool. I said maybe 4, I mean, would be a possibility. And my wife said she wanted to have 4 of her own. And I was like, well, if we get to, if we marry her, like, you already will have 1, that's 5. And she was, yeah? I'm like, that's 5. That's a lot. I'm like, we're going to be tired. A lot. Yeah. I deal with kids all the time. I'll be fine. But I'm like, okay. Whatever. And then Sophia came along. A few years later. Now, truth be told, again, I said I guess our plans sort of got adjusted quickly because we were told for a while that we were infertile. Back when we first started trying and things weren't happening, and first they said it was me, then they said it was her. Or, you know, there's fertility doctors. To be honest, sometimes I'm sure there's for every good one that they person they help, I bet you there's like probably 5 that don't need it. But anyway, you know, eventually Vincent comes along. And Sophia was not exactly thought out, you know. We were at the time where we were thinking about it. It just sort of happened a lot faster than we expected it. And like I said, she came along and man, that little attitude of hers, shit. And it's been visible since she's been tiny. As I said, I'm going to get this idea like this like caving around us. So that, you know, it's coming. Like, this is our far background. This shit's closer, even though it's probably not at all accurate at all. But that's how I want it to feel, and it'll give it a little contrast to. It's alright down there, isn't it? That's okay. I was going to go with that much cerulean, but down there. But it's alright. We're fine. Does Japanese sound annoying people? I've just been trying to figure out. Like, I mean, I'm just trying to make noise in the background so there's something. I mean, should I turn on, like, you guys want, like, should I make it ocean sounds? I have to activate it. I have to put one in first, but let's see if I can do it. Let's do it. Let's make it a little more apropos. I mean, this worked when I had the, even though I didn't do it, actually. I don't think I did. Did I? I was doing the Zen garden. Let's see here. Skills. GI. Oh, I love seeing a new way to control. Great. Okay, cool. Give me the fucking skills, asshole. Not 9. Oh. Ocean sounds. Here, we'll enable it. Give it a few seconds. We'll wait for it to update. I tried going to bed the other night. Like I've been having issues sleeping for the past few weeks, and the only thing that seems to work is like putting some of that white noise sound. Like we've been working with thunderstorms, and it seems to be okay. I found a 24-hour YouTube channel that does thunderstorm sounds, and I can't use the dot because, or actually I have a tap in my room because I use that for my alarm. So if I have the sound real low, I'm going to hear my alarm in the morning. I don't think there's a way to adjust it like that so that it goes at that sound at that time at a louder point, whatever. So I just have that, you know, I just put it on my phone and let it go all night. I tried doing a train sound the other night. It's just too much. Hey, Alexa, activate ocean sounds.
Okay, here's sleep sounds, ocean sounds.
Response. How loud is that? I can't tell. Alexa, set your volume for 5. What did I try? That's not too bad, right? Because that horn, you know, the pipe or whatever, the flute, Japanese flute, is quite loud. That's why I had that sound low. We'll get some gulls. That'd be nice. Ah. Sorry. That's going to happen on occasion. Oh, I'm painting right over the gulls. Alright, let's try to... So I could still see him, maybe. We'll adjust that a little bit. We'll strengthen up around him a little bit. That one that was kind of like in the background, it's, you know, whatever. We lose him, we lose him. Maybe we'll add him back in. There's one like even farther back in. Oh, Lakeshore Drive. All right. Doug driving on Lakeshore Drive. I had some friends. I was bitching about the traffic around here the other day. Well, actually, like probably a year ago. Truth be told, because it just made me late to the Phillies, and somebody said, "Oh, try driving in Chicago." I was like, "I've driven in Chicago. I mean, yes, and I've hit traffic on the way to, you know, O'Hare. It's like I don't mind it comparatively to say the blue route around here." The main difference, I think, for me is when I hit traffic in Chicago, you know, you kind of get one of those boards that tells you, like, oh, from here to here is, you know, 45 minutes. And it's like, okay, well, you average out in your head, like, okay, well, our average is going to be 25 miles an hour then, or whatever, or 20 miles an hour. You know, whatever it may be. And if you pay attention, you will drive pretty much 20 miles an hour the whole way. You'll have very little, like I didn't notice much stop and go when I was driving. I was pretty much always moving, it was just at a really slow rate. And here on the blue route, that is not the case. If you're driving on the blue route, anybody that's ever done this on a regular basis will tell you, it's maddening. And it's really not just the blue route, I'll be honest. It's 76, but I mean the blue route does seem to be worse, I think, than even 76. Where you are stopped dead, and you'll sit there, and I counted the other day, I was sitting for 15 seconds, not moving, dead stop. And we went immediately to 50 miles an hour. No in between, no reason, there's no lights, it's not on a highway where they have lights on it, you know, or anything like that. We were dead stopped and decided, like, somebody just went, oh, I can drive 50 miles an hour. Like, and we went 50 miles an hour, and it wasn't like just like real quick and stopped again. We went 50 miles an hour for about 30 seconds or 40 seconds, you know, whatever, a minute or so. And then came to a dead stop and rinse and repeat my whole way home. And that's what I can't stand. It's like, if you let me, you know, basically I can cruise without having to hit that pedal, you know, like without having to brake, really. Like, just touch the gas and then let my foot off of it, just kind of cruise for a little while. I'm cool. I'm happy, man. I'm moving. It's not, you know, it's not fast, no, but at least I'm not like. And maybe it was just the, let's see, how many times did I go out to Chicago? I went out 3 times for work? 2 or 3 times for work. Let me think. There was MCC training. There was controls training. I think I went out there 3 times for trainings. And then I went out once with my family for a vacation. And we drove out there. And no issues. We had traffic, you know, on the day we left. We had traffic, you know, in, but, I mean, we were staying in the heart of Chicago. We were in, you know. I didn't mind Lakeshore Drive at all. Just saying. That's why I like this song. Don't get me wrong, I mean, when we were actually in the city for that week or whatever, we just went vis-a-vis, you know, subway everywhere. Oh, fuck no. This is not for me. This is literally for other people. Just stuck in it. No, maybe not. It's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it slow. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy to be calm when you found something going on. Take your time, think a lot, think of everything you got. It's gonna be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. How can I try to explain? When I do, he turns away again. It's hard, it's been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. Now it's away, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. It's not time to make a change. Just about make it slowly. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. How can times that I tried to repeat all the things I knew inside? It's hard, but it's harder to ignore it. It's right, I'd agree, but it's them that's not me. They know it's away, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. No, I'll put that up in there. We'll hold it there. Probably won't. Nah. You see some of the texture? You can see a little bit of the texture, right? It's coming through there a little bit. So I want to get it having this like kind of under the dome idea. So this, by the way, is right, like exactly why I could not use even just a normal size, like even a big palette. I tried for a long time, but I always end up like making a huge mess with one color, and then it's like, oh, I don't have room to really. Everything's gonna run into each other or something, and so I'd start scraping off half the shit, and it was like, before I was done, and then I'd scrape off the thing, and I'd be like, oh, I needed that color again, fuck, and then it was like, oh, I just can't, I can't. Because they're always in globs like this. I mean, I did transfer like from off of this onto that little thing, you know. I mean, I guess at one point maybe I could start thinking about combining them. Like, in other words, have a big palette, have like a thing like that, like wax paper, just kind of throw it off onto. Maybe. There's one problem having ocean sound system. Now I'm listening to right now. Well, right now it's. Which one is this? I think it's off the new album. Yeah, it's off the Sarabande. It's one of the new. It's not new. I mean, it's the Parita for violin. Hold on, solo. Number 1. There we go. In B minor. It's off of the Hilarions' new albums. But I still hear the ocean sound that's in the background here, playing for you guys. That's like, all I think of is Jacques Cousteau. As the sea. So, Richard Janney, I think was his name. It's a comedian, unfortunately killed himself a few years ago. It was very funny, and he had a bit about, you know, he always loved watching Jacques Cousteau, because, especially once he got older, because it was like, his son was, you know, always the one doing the diet. In a volunteer system, my son was thrown overboard to go collect the genitals of the, what did he say, a blind lesbian octopus, or something, whatever it was. It was something ridiculous. It's very funny. It's a pity. A 1,000 miles away, sailing free. Now I'm bound on the heart of the ocean. I'm riding the sea, my soul. And the deep rock me to sleep. Down below, where the black waters roll. I'm feeling in the mood for going a beer. Time to sleep. I gotta go put in my kids to bed. I'll go grab a beer. I think a little Blackwater Stout from the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. Yourself like so many times before. Be off from my land. Now bound for the heart of the ocean. So in the dark and the deep, she will rock me to sleep. Down below, black waters roll. I was thinking for the next piece here, I've been doing so many off of reference photos, and I don't like doing it. I've done it for a very long time now, unfortunately, because I just don't have much choice. I'm painting at night and when I'm not at work, so I don't have the ability. And plus, if I want to stream while painting, I can't quite figure out how I would run a Ethernet cable out to the, middle of a field, in, say, like Westchester or something like that. It'd be quite difficult. So I don't know how I could pull it off. If I could hit affiliate, I could put up videos then and do it that way. And then live stream. But what I'm thinking for the next one, what I want to do is I'm going to set up a still life. I've got a couple like wine bottles or Jameson bottles, I think. Maybe it will call me. I've had it in here and sitting in the studio for 3 years, 4 years, who knows. I drive my wife nuts with that stuff a lot of times because, like, as an artist, like I always want to paint like whatever I can if I get the chance. I mean, I don't get much painting time anymore like I used to. But I still behave a lot of times like I did like when I was in college. So it's like now that I'm painting again, it's like, don't throw that away. I need that. Why do you need it? Because I may paint that one day. When? I don't know. It's just like sometime probably before I die. Maybe. And so, you just can't hoard everything. I can too. Call me skinhead, I'll call you a pinhead. Yo, where you been, man? Just like the tin. And meanwhile, I'm also the first person that, like, she'll get, like, something, like we just inherited, because our parents are moving out of their house into, like, a much smaller little townhouse. We inherited, like, a bunch of their stuff that they couldn't bring with them. So, like, I'm trying to think of, like, some, like just, like, Halloween decorations and shit like that. And I'm like, where are we putting that? I don't have room for that. But, like, meanwhile, I'm like I said, I hoard anything on her. I got a fucking Terpenoid can here that I haven't, it's completely empty and I haven't thrown it out yet. It's been not empty for at least a year and a half. It's like stuff like that. It drives her up the wall. But we'll get like actually like important things that we need or I can't keep that. We can't put that in the studio. All my friends know. What you gotta say? Let's hit the hay and have no delay. Hey yo, by the way. Top of the morning. I'd be remiss. I did it on Facebook, so that's where it's official. But and I know she's not actually on here or anything like that. But a very happy birthday to my mother-in-law. And I'm not doing that because like I'm gonna get in trouble or anything like that if I didn't do it. Like I would feel bad, but like I got good in-laws. And there's always that like the in-laws thing it's always used in sitcoms and shit. And I know people didn't feel that way about their in-laws, but you know what? I got good in-laws. I knew they'd be good in-laws back when we were dating. I found out that they were big into Halloween. And what's funny is my wife is not. She's gotten a little better now since being married to me all this time. She like, I guess she's just sort of accepted the madness. But you know, she'd hear me talk about Halloween, and you know, she was like, you know, my parents like get all bugged out for Halloween. I was like, oh, I'll come over and I'll scare kids. So even when we were dating, and even like when we moved in together first, we were in a little apartment, so we couldn't scare anybody. So we'd go over to her parents' house and scare kids. And now they come over to my house because we're that house. You got a real type of thing going down, getting down. There's a whole lot of rhythm going round. You got a real type of thing going down, getting down. There's a whole lot of rhythm going round. We want the funk. Give up the funk. We. Type of thing going down, getting down. There's a whole lot of rhythm going round. You got a real type of thing going down, getting down. There's a whole lot of rhythm going round. Now here's where it's going to get a little funky, because it's going to get, you know, it gets a little lighter over there on the horizon, so we're going to be flirting in and out of the blues, yellows, and whites most certainly. Probably a few greens too. Get it the right colors. Turn this mother out. We're gonna turn this mother out. You got a real type of thing going down, getting down. There's a whole lot of rhythm going round. You got a real type of thing. Rolling off medium here. We want the funk. Give up the funk. We need the funk. Gotta have that funk. Use. I'd scrape the bit off that's on my finger right now. That's it. piece of chunk that we got for some reason. We want the funk. Start there. This thing. We want the funk. We want the. Now we have to get another little paper towels too. Alright. I know this is gonna look crazy. This is shit that would make my friend Davin like throw up in college. Ready? I had another bottle. Tube of something. I don't remember what it was, but I thought I had another tube of something. Tube of titanium white there still in the box, but I thought I had another tube in the box. I hadn't opened. Just let's got that. That's the way, I like it, that's the way, I like it, Tell me how you're loving me. When take me all your love. Do it all the thing you can. I know. That's I'd be careful not to paint my hats up here. That's the way, I like it, that's the way, I like it, Maybe hit that turquoise up too in a little bit. That's the way, I like it, What's on this melon? is hidden behind the trees. Now the flowers sing of violence. I should add, there is a at least slight chance that I could lose power while streaming. There are remnants of the hurricane are supposed to be hitting us tonight. Just primarily bringing in heavy rain and shit. But my neighborhood's such that, I mean, like a squirrel farts wrong and we lose power sometimes. So what's really crazy, actually, in my neighborhood is like literally one side of the street could lose power and the other's fine, and that like goes up and down the area. It's very weird. Truth be told, my area is a little, like my street specifically, is a little better than say like a block over that way. So we might have a better shot than most, but so if I go dead suddenly. No need to be concerned. Now, if I drop dead on camera, please call the police. I don't think that'll happen, though. You never know, though, right? I mean, what's his face? The dude who's like a real big like health advocate and dropped dead like jogging. Which is why I sit on my ass a lot. I can make it do things you wouldn't think you'd ever. Actually, that's not entirely true. I would actually exercise if I actually had any time. The problem is I'm basically forced to a choice of do I exercise or do I paint? And as long as I'm where I am at work or whatever, like, I gotta paint. There's no choice. It's as much about, you know, feeding my artistic nature as it is literally fighting the poison that I drink there daily. You know, spiritual poison. And it's like, I am kind of shocked. I was honestly expecting my boss to fire me today. The way that things have been going with, like, he was having me do certain things that I'm like, this really seems like you're trying to just clean my shit out before I get out of here. Like, before you shit can me. See, I don't know how that works though, because actually my boss his office, he's actually in Atlanta. So I don't know if he'd have to come up to shit can me, or just have someone in the office up here with me shit can me, or I'm pretty convinced that the reason they changed him to be my boss, my old boss, just wouldn't have the balls to do it. He was friends with my mother, and I think that he'd be concerned that should rain hell on him or something. Whereas this one, as I've pointed out, despite the fact that my mother worked there for 43 years, and they know that I'm her son, when they gave me a customer service appreciation card, they had my last name spelled wrong. That goes to show you, doesn't it, how much they give a flying fuck. I don't know if that came from my boss, like that card came from my boss, one of the guys in my office, or from like the regional manager. I have no idea which one it was. Truth be told, because I never opened the card. And maybe it's petty of me, but you know what? As I say a couple times, I gave that place my sanity, and I get to fucking thank you for it. I've gotten, I mean, ever since I came back, it's not even like, oh, well, we're going to make things a little better for it. No, they're just like, fuck you. You're not performing the way we want you to. Really, no shit. My ADD is completely out of whack because of this place, and my depression is completely off the fucking scales. Every day that I'm here, no fucking wonder. I did kind of figure something out though, and it's my end. I like to play with my own psychology. I like to figure out what's going on in my head. It's been a lot harder since the breakdown, but I have figured out a few things. And one of the things I figured out is that, like, I've kind of gotten. See, I should really explain this. Like, my job literally is the same exact fucking shit day in, day out. I know a lot of people go, oh, well, I deal with that too. No, literally, I have the exact same day every day. It's different technically, but it's the exact same day. That is to say, I deal with the same problems from the same plants, from the same customers. I talk to the same people every day. Every day. Tomorrow, I guarantee you, I will talk to a woman named Sandra who works at Northeast Electrical at least probably twice. I will talk to, a gentleman named Benjamin who works at Electrical Supply Center. I will talk to him. And I should say, I'll talk to them, and it could be via email or, actually on the phone. It could be either way. But I will talk to them in some way, shape, or form at least 2 or 3 times. They will be about panels that did not ship, or they will be about panels that shipped and were damaged, or panels that they shipped, but the customer decided last minute that they didn't want it shipped where they were spending. Had them shipped, like scheduled to ship for 3 months. They'll just say, now we want to change it to this other address because they're not ready for it. And it's a constant thing. It's like I said, it's the same people, it's the same stuff every day. And like I said, and the same plants. We don't have this, so we can't ship it out, or whatever. This, or we're going to be late. We broke it. I mean, this is shit that happens like so often. It's disgusting. We're missing breakers. We can't ship that. We're missing this. We're missing that. It's the same stuff, and I'm just so tired of the same things that I figured out that my ADD, in a sense, is trying to make something interesting. So that's why I ignore half their shit for like days on end. So that it gets to the point where my managers and whatever are like, you need to take care of this now. Really? Because they're not even arguing at me yet. They literally haven't even called back on it. And until they start really harping on me, I don't really give a shit. Because it's like, why bother? I have other stuff I could do. Like look for galleries and jobs. And there's no point moving to a different team. Because, quite honestly, it's just going to be the same exact shit with just different names. At that point, it's really a matter of the enemy I know is better than the enemy I don't. I know the tolerance level of Benjamin and Sandra. I know how long I can kind of dick around with them. And that's petty, and like I said, but then keep in mind that I used to try really hard. I tried super hard, and it literally walked me straight over the edge of sanity. I literally used to, and I'm not joking about this at all. I'm very serious when I say this. I would hear some of these assholes in my house at 2 in the morning. I was having auditory hallucinations before I actually had the full breakdown. I would hear these dickheads telling me how I wasn't good enough at my job, no matter how hard I tried. How I lied to them about when their panel was shipping because the plant had told me that this thing was going to ship, on this day, and then they didn't do it. And then they told me it was going to ship on the other day, and it didn't do it. And it's like... And at insult to injury, I have been applying to new places for 3.5 years. and I can't find one that will pay me my bare minimum, which is less than what I make here, but I'm willing to take a pay cut to get out, as long as it's not incredibly drastic. I'm taking, I've posted out, you know, like, the amount I'm requesting usually is about, it's about 20%. About 20% less than what I make now. But the only jobs I've ever gotten calls back from want me to take another 30% below that lowest acceptable pay rate. And I'm like, I can't do it. Physically cannot do that. Like, my family will have to literally starve for me to pull that off. This would have to go away because I'd have to go get a second job. It's like, it's garbage. It's a fucking pain in the ass. It's like, I feel like there's a point where I keep trying to figure out where it was exactly, but there's part of me that thinks I did die and I've just been stuck in hell or something. Or like, at least at the very point, I'm kind of going, I'm not afraid really of death anymore. Because if there is a hell, if there's nothing, and that's cool. I'm fine. And that's what I believe. But if I'm wrong and there's a hell, it ain't gonna be any worse. Ain't nothing that shit could throw me at this point. And I tell you what, I could tell you this, and here's the biggest part, I guess. I know I bitch about this once in a while, but whatever. Gives me something to talk about. See, I was talking, I'm not even talking about. The problems could all be solved if the plants had any ramifications for fucking up as much as they do. Like if I had the ability to say, yeah, a plant tells me this thing's shipping, you know, in a week. And a week comes, and the plant's, you know, hey, this is coming out. Oh no, we're missing these parts. Alright, now I can usually get away with that once. Well, when are they doing? They'll be in 2 days. Okay, so it'll ship in 2 days? Yeah, it'll ship in 2 days. Cool. So if I go back to the customer with that, usually they'll be pissed, but they'll be accepting. But when 2 days comes, and that the shit hasn't shipped, that's when the shit blows up usually. And that's when I should be able to be like, okay, well, here's my contact at the plant. Go give them hell. And if they did that, you know, then there would be, I guarantee you those answers would get a lot better, a lot faster. But because they don't, because everybody's free to do whatever the fuck they want down there. And they never get yelled at by the customers. They don't even get the customers aren't even allowed to talk to them. I've had people ask, can you transfer me down there? No. Why not? Because you're not allowed to talk to them. That's why I literally have to say, they're literally not to be reached by customers. Well, if they're the ones that can really help me, yeah. Why can't I talk to them? Because you're not allowed to. My job isn't to actually help my customers. My job is to actually keep the customers away from my plants. There's a red house over yonder. That's where my baby stays. Alright, well, it's actually that time, right? It's 9 o'clock, a little after. So let me go put my kids to bed real quick, grab myself a beer to bring out here, and keep working on the sky. I'd like to finish it tonight. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'd like to finish the sky tonight. I know it seems like it should be easy. It's not. There's lots of colors this evening. And I was looking even closer and just started noticing a little bit of pinks and shit down here. Kind of that photo, so. Yeah. So, we'll be right back. Right there. Enjoy the ocean sounds. So good. Rainbow's getting my mirror. Ooh, hot doggy. Let's see. What's the right button? There we go. It's a little Blackwater Stout from the what do they refer to it? Swashbuckler Brewing Company. Good stuff. Good stuff. If you don't see my baby, 99 and 1/2 days. Son of a bitch. Wait a minute, something's wrong. This kid won't unlock this door. Oh, wait a minute, something's wrong. Lord have mercy, this key won't unlock this door. Something's going on here. I have a bad, bad feeling that my baby don't live here no more. That's right, I still got my guitar. Look out now. I'm trying to think of how bigger things to talk about that. Work sucks. Everybody knows that, right? Well, I might as well go back over yonder. Way back upon the hills. Well, I might as well go back over yonder. Way back yonder across them hills. Cause if my baby don't love me no more, I know her sister will. It's nice that Jimmy had that option, having a sister that would love him. See, my wife's an only child. If she stops loving me, I'm fucked. I should say I wouldn't be anymore, right? I guess I don't know. Yes, it is. That's pretty much summing up there. This is figured out. It's really. I would really like to see the algorithm that Amazon Music uses. So it seems pretty obvious to me that it's definitely based on, like, if you hit shuffle is not really shuffle so much as it's like, okay, well, we're gonna kind of generate off of what's kind of most popular. There, I can't even say it's like stuff that you've listened to the most. But it does seem to have a little bit of a factor on there. I don't think it's that as big as it should be. Like right now, I was just going to say again, like it's played off the Hillary Hahn new album again. Now, admittedly, I have listened to this album at least 4 times since it came out. No, let me take that back. Hold on. Let's do it twice a day it came out. Let's do it Monday till... Alright, it's probably about 6 times. in a week, it's not bad, right? Especially given that, like, I don't listen very often, at least, anything in the car. Either way, like into work or out of work, because I just literally just want silence, knowing that when I get into work, it's going to be phone calls and phone calls and phone calls. I just want quiet. And then what I do is, when I'm at work, I put stuff on, like through my Amazon Music, whatever. I let it play until I have to take a phone call, hit pause, and whatever. So I listen to most of my stuff there. Is like means like, okay, they pissed me off. Recenter. Look through my little notebook. It tells me not to get pissed off at that. Like, just accept that they suck and just keep working on the plan. Keep painting. Keep looking. Keep doing whatever you can. And hey, it's sort of working a little bit. I mean, look, I'm still short the followers I'd like to hit too. By the way, I'll reiterate. I have a giveaway planned for when we hit 50. And it's not going to be the 50th person that wins. It's going to be out of the 50. Well, it'll be out of like 48 followers, because 2 of them are like my daughter and my mother, so they're out of the contest. But I'm just going to take a random number generator and basically, like people that liked me first or number 1, like, and I think it was my buddy Mike. Might have been Illis Music. Actually got me before Mike did. Not sure. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The thing is that, like I said, I'm going to go through them. I'll just take a random number generator. Because everyone will get assigned a number. Shake the number up, boom, and who gets it? Gets free, gets a free drawing. It's a drawing you can find on my Instagram. It's of my bridge on Trailwind Farm Trail. I've been working on it recently with a new style. And that's kind of what I thought would be a kind of cool giveaway, is it's something I've been working on. I'm not ready to start painting with it yet. I'm just sort of kind of crafting it and kind of figuring out how it works. I haven't figured out how to work in color yet. It's very black. Yeah, it's a black and white, charcoal, not charcoal, graphite drawing. But, I mean, it's, if I get to pull this thing off and it's kind of cool, it's, you'd have the first experiments in it. I think that's kind of a neat. Like, imagine, I'm trying to think of somebody that like really changed vis-a-vis a drawing or something like that. I'll go to my master because he's the easiest one for me. Like, all right, imagine you get something from Vincent, like, you were able to get something from, like, as soon as he, like, was starting to become exposed to the Impressionists, like, really started blowing up the color a little bit. Just, like, right as he's kind of becoming him. I mean, that's kind of cool, right? I think so. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. You may say that I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. Just like give it some, again, it's not like I'm trying to, I don't want it to be overpowering in here. I want it just to have like these little flays of where the color's a little different, you know. We're gonna mix it in there pretty good on the canvas. It's getting strong, so we're gonna go back into it a little bit. That's all. Little happy accidents. Fuck that. No. Yeah, the bunny foo-foo hopping through the forest, picking up the field mice, bop them on the head. Down came the good fairy, and she said, "Knock that shit off!" Sorry, I probably the last one's here. Whoever my one viewer is, I apologize for that. It's probably my mother. Sorry, Mom. I did that when I was a teenager. You should have seen it coming. I'll also mention that, yeah, I mentioned the drawing. So that's for hitting 50. You know anybody? It's on Twitch here. It's like, tell them click follow, man. Can't hurt. I don't have to actually come on when I'm painting. That's fine. Whatever. Be nice. Be nice to have viewers. But anyway, I hit 50 followers. I give away the drawing. I also, on a business end, have both paintings and prints for sale right now on my official website, Two Society Studios. TwoSocietyStudios.com. The prints right now, they're limited edition print. The ones that, I should say, the ones that are on the homepage. There are prints elsewhere in the store there that you can find, but the ones that are on the homepage are a limited edition print of the View of Tulips. They are signed prints. I'll be honest, I don't sign them until they're sold, but whatever. They're limited edition. They were only 50 of them ran. They're signed. I number them. I put a certificate of authenticity with them. It's $12. It covers shipping too. So I mean, I'll cover shipping. I don't care if you're in like Canada or Australia or whatever the hell. I really don't give a shit. South America, whatever, dude. Africa, Europe. Yeah, there are hundreds of places. Hundreds of numbers. It's a stupid quote, sorry guys. But honestly, like I said, if you're in, looking for something, the prints are nice. They are 12 by 18s, so they're good size. They were printed locally here with Fireball Printing, and I mean they're just solid prints, and I need to get rid of them. Quite honestly, I need to get rid of them. I thought it was something I could here's the thing. Like all my friends on Facebook, when I started painting again, like, oh my god, I love this painting. Like there was like especially the View of Tulips. Oh my god, I love it! I'd love to have this, and I'm like, yeah, it's not going to be cheap because it's a big ass painting, and there's a little bit of a, there's an emotional connection to it. You know, it's not that I'm going to be opposed entirely to selling it, but you know, it was my first painting in years. I mean, so I usually like I refer to it as price to keep, you know, kind of thing. Like if you want it, you're going to have to want it more than me. And right now it's selling for about $900. I actually told my wife, I said, once this is finished, like this one finishes it and finishes up the set, I'll be honest, I'm jacking the price up to $1,000 because I figure every one of them will be that. Because now at this point, now it's a set. It's a set of things that, you know, I really like. And she really likes. That's a lot to do with the price going up because it's right now like we have the harvest up in my house because it's fall, you know, and once winter rolls around, the horse shed in winter back there is going to go up there, and the harvest come back in here, and spring rolls around, the view tulips will go up there unless it's sold. Though I did say to her, I said I'll probably offer like buy all four, and like I'll knock off some money or something, you know. Not quite sure how I'd pull it off. I have to be very careful because it's like if I put it up there and I have the other one's still up for sale individually, and someone clicks the one and then somebody else clicks the other like the same time, it would fuck everything up. Dracula. I told you guys, this looks simple, but it's because of the way I paint, it's much harder. Man, as you bleed. Let's put that over there. Face upon the cat, tender is the fur dying as you burn. Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches and I'm in the back of my Dracula. Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches and slime. You're not going too heavy up there. I just realized that. It should be a little thicker down here, like a little closer down here, and then up there I should spread it out. That's alright, we can work on that. Exam the right face and two lips. Crack the bolts 21 to win. Then I am the doghound of hell. You cry, devil on your back. I can never die. Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches. I'm in the back of my Dracula. Burn through the witches and slam in the back of my Dracula. Do it. Raw. Oh shit, was that thunder? Is that the thunder of the thing? Damn. Or is that just a car driving by? I think it's just a... Does it wipe away the... It does! You son of a bitch. Son of a... Alright, well, let me go back to this, because I just realized that this takes it away. To my nightmare, I think I'm gonna like it. Dude, I've probably been sitting here telling people, oh, check out the reference photo right there, and like a fucking moron. Necessary sedation. Where am I? Wrong one. Wrong one. Yeah, I'll tell you guys. Everything except for my Instagram's up there right now. There's TwoSocietyStudios.com. That's my main site. Anyway. Nope, I didn't scare you. Oh, I just clicked off. That's just the way we are when we come down. We sweat and laugh and scream here, 'cause life is just a dream here. You know inside you feel right at home. Yeah. Welcome to my breakdown. Yeah. Welcome to my nightmare. Yeah. Alright, I'll think of something else. I was trying to, like I said, I'm trying to think of something nice to say. It's hard for me. I was, yeah, as I said, I've been listening to Hillary Hahn's album for a while, and she's doing her 100 Days of Practice, which is it's a really cool thing. If you've never seen it, it's actually pretty cool. I suggest check it out on her Instagram, Violin Case. It's very, very cool. Anyway, today's was actually, I just walked around today because I was very tired from a performance the other night, and it's like, you know, I part of me would be like, no, you just practice because I want to see it. Like, it's very selfish. But again, I have to like sit there and remember that as an artist, sometimes I hate to say it, but sometimes you are working that way. And I don't know how else to put it. Like, all right. I have trouble sometimes. It's perhaps one of the biggest fights my wife and I have gotten. Not really a fight, but like, it's something that I keep trying to explain to her. Like, there was time period right after we moved in together, where I was working for Sprint PCS at the time, and one of the reasons why we moved in together was we thought that I was actually going to get a promotion. They had brought in a new supervisor, and he really liked me, and I don't want to say he didn't like my boss at the time. Like, he was a friend of mine. Still is. He's not now. I mean, he still is. He just lives far away. Anyway, but he just thought maybe he was part of the problem, so he ended up firing him for underperforming, and they gave me all his responsibilities, but didn't give me his title right away. And he was like, dude, we're working on that. He's like, we're going to get you, you know. He's like, right now, he's like, it's looking really much like I'm probably going to be leaving the store soon. And I'm bringing you with me. He's like, and he's like, I'm going to have you, when they move me to the next store, he goes, I want you as my customer service supervisor there. I was like, all right, cool. So we're like, all right, you know. And, but what ended up happening was the company kind of made a decision like, oh no, it's the store, it's every single one of them, and so they just shit canned all of us, and he was basically powerless at that point. So I had to come home one day, and she's like, why are you home? And I'm like, I just got fired, you know. And she was like, what? I'm like, they shit canned everybody. I'm like, they literally just shit canned the whole store. We were one of the 10 slowest stores in the country. Now, part of the problem was we were working in an area where the local population did not want us to put up those ugly cell towers, but then they also didn't understand why they didn't have service. They also had a lot of old stone homes, and they're very hard to get service in anyway. And Sprint towers, I don't know whether they're any better now, but at the time, most certainly they were not designed to get through this stuff. So anyway, this is like early 2001, 2002. Right, I guess it was 2002 when I got laid off, right? Yeah, end of 2002. Well, like fall. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But when we were, I was laid off for a little while, but I got another job pretty quickly. But then that company took like a $1 billion hit or something stupid, and I was one of the new guys on the docket. And I made it through the first round of layoffs. I did not make it through the second round. So again, I come home, and that one took a lot longer to find a job after that. And so I was doing things like I was trying to break into comics at the time, so I started working on stuff like that. Me and Bungo had already been working on it kind of already, but we really tried to get into it. I tried to do a painting or two in my old little apartment, but it was like next to impossible. I had to put down like so much stuff just before I start painting because, as you saw me dropping shit earlier, that happens a lot. So it can be a mess sometimes. So I was like, I can't paint in this apartment because we're going to end up having to pay the whole like security deposit. Like we're just losing that entirely if I do. And that's like, our plan was to use that for either another down payment somewhere, either as part of a payment for a house or part of at least going to another apartment. So I was like, I can't do that. Anyway. So, but one of the times there were a couple times where she'd come home and she'd just see me like I'd been sitting there and she said, "What'd you do all day?" I thought. What do you mean you thought? I was thinking. I was working. What do you mean you were thinking? Wait, were you working or what? I was like, no, I was working, but I was thinking. And she was like, no, what do you mean? You're not drawing, but you're what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm. Like it was very like it was hard to explain to her. Like it's hard to explain to people that aren't artists, I guess, that like sometimes if I'm just sitting there staring off into space, I'm working quite hard. In fact, I'm probably working harder there than I am sometimes doing this. It's just love you. Alright, now this is going to be fun because I'm telling you now, obviously, just judging from how quick or how slowly this is going, that we're not going to be finishing this up tonight, like the sky area. This one's beast. This is good. Anyway, sorry, it's a good part. So, anyway, just going back to what I was saying. So it's I was cracking up because like I was laughing at myself in a lot of ways because like I want you to be prejudicing because I like watching it because it's something nice. It's nice to listen to. But I had to realize like I'm like, oh no, that's being selfish. So though it's incredibly unlikely she would ever see this. Hillary, rest all you want there. I get you. I got it. I know what you're doing. Jeez, I just sound like Travolta there. Staccato. Like old Travolta, you know? Like they were Travolta. And meanwhile, like there were like kids watching this. Who the hell's Mr. Cotter? Anyway, it's actually before my time too, kids, don't worry. I just happen to know that. Does anybody ever actually, like, I'll be honest, because I get a lot of looks sometimes from people when I start quoting shit, like, from, like, old school Saturday Night Live, or, like, SCTV, shit that was definitely on before, like, some of it was on before I was born. And, like, people, like, look at me like, what the fuck, how do you know that? And it's like, when I was a kid, like, probably about my son's age, about 11 years old. I used to watch Nick at Night all the time. They'd have on the old Saturday Night Live. They'd have on the old SCTVs. Fucking loved them. Oh, that's not good. What condensation got down there. Alright, let's get back to the whites and stuff. And I'll be honest, there's at least probably, let's see, there's going to be some more yellows, probably some green, and a little bit of pink in here still. And I'm just talking here, like that area, and down. Like, I'm not even talking up in this area. There's still a shit ton up there too. And the problem that I know I'm running into is that my paints are going to dry. I know it right now. These blues have been terrible. There's something in the mixture of the Wintons. And the Winton paints that just goes, it just dries up so fucking fast anymore. And it's I can't, well actually, no, it's the Wintons. It's definitely the Winton mixture. I think about it, because like turquoise blue doesn't really run in that issue. So it's going to cause me problems on Sunday night's stream, which will probably begin about 7:30. If I can come in earlier, I'll do it, because I mean, Walking Dead's on, so it's gonna pull me out of here earlier, at least for the first half of the season. I think I told everybody I'm kind of already. Even last, all right, let's talk about that. If anybody's on here, I don't know on here to talk about it, but maybe someone will join in halfway through. It happened once with Luke Cage. Let's talk about Luke Cage. If you're a fan of the comic and the show, and that's, I guess you have to be a fan of both for this to make sense. Dude, they rushed the shit out of the storyline on Sunday's episode. Like, that storyline to me in the comic was like very well handled. You know, it had some breathing time. You had some, you know, build up to what happened. You had some build up into why the people that did what they, like, why they were pissed at her and why they did what they did, and you know. And even, you know, like, I don't know, there's just, they really seem to just plow through it, like, okay, here's this thing. And it's like, oh. I mean, I'm okay with them using Daryl as a substitute for, fuck, what's his name in the comic? Dwight. Like, that's okay, that works out well, you know. That Dwight is, you know, been removed, and Daryl takes the place of the I don't want to be the leader here kind of thing, and that works fine. But like, honestly, the whole thing with what happened, and I'm trying not to get into specifics in case you didn't see it or whatever. But it's like, dude, they've rushed through the shit out of it, man. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, that did not take long at all. But, you know, and I guess that's the problem I'm going to run into. And I mean, I'm not sure I'll make it through all 6 episodes of the first part of the season. I probably will, because only 6 episodes. But like, the thing about the because we're coming into the Whisperers, you know, and the thing about the Whisperers setup when it came into play in the comics was you kind of had the threat notified. You knew it was coming. But at the same point, you did get this idea that they had been safe for a little while. That they had some breathing room before, and they've eliminated that. You know what I mean? Like, they there's definitely like no sensation that the things have actually been peaceful. You know, like there's this hint of like there's an undercurrent of everything all the time. Like, I don't know, there was definitely like a, you know, there was a sensation like, okay, we beat Negan's group and we're cool now with them, where peace has been achieved. There's a few, you know, hot spots, but otherwise, you know, it's not like anything's gonna get crazy out of proportion quickly. So when what happened last week happened, it was like kind of a, oh my god, like, okay, there's a lot more going on than seemed. And then there was there's something that happens that they call a festival, like, we all call it festivals, but, because it's a festival, but it's like, I don't know, it's supposed to, like, jar you, and I don't feel like they're going to get that jar because they've already made it like, oh no, it's still, like, pretty terrible. They've done all this stuff, but it's still garbage, and it's like, no. At the date, 'cause I just kissed my baby. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, I mean, you can see, like, there's already, it's getting complicated already getting in here, but I guess that's what I'm trying to get, like, the areas that I know are going to be a problem for me. Wow, wow, wow. Just kiss my baby. Just kiss my baby. Just kiss my baby. Just. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Future art historians who see this, it's like, that's why it's a pain in the ass. Like boom mic there. I'm like, where was the tomatoes that you painted this shit at all? They're garbage. Ow. Just kiss my baby. And mouth on my side. Alright. 'Cause I just kissed my baby. I just kissed my baby. Like I said, I'm trying to go for this idea that, like, it's kind of like coming up all over you. I'm gonna add some fluctuations in, just to give it a little. There's these little moments where if you can get it to, like I said, give it a little. Like make it so, I mean, like, look, there's not a lot of clouds in the sky in this. Well, there's no clouds in the sky in this one, but you give it this idea that, like, there's shit moving up there still, you know? Deep blood in the streets of town of Chicago. Deep blood in the horizon following me. Take it out to break a day. She came in and she drove away. Sunlight in her hair. She blood in the streets is a river of sadness. See, blood in the streets is up to my thigh. Today. She came in town and then she drove away. Sunlight in her hair. I'm really concerned that, like, if I don't try to plow through this, the paint's gonna dry up on me terribly. Being scattered on dawn's highway bleeding. Ghosts crowd the young child's fragile eggshell mind. Blood in the streets in the town of New Haven. Blood stains the roots in the palm trees of Venice. Blood in the rob is a terrible summer. Bloody red sound of fantastic LA. Blood screams the brains to chop off the finger. Your blood will be born in the birth of a nation. Blood is the rose of mysterious unions. Your blood in the streets is up to my ankles. See blood in the streets is up to my face. See blood in the streets, the town of Chicago. See blood in the rise is following me. Brothers be like George, ain't that fucking kinda hard on you? It's hard when it started. Brothers be like George, ain't that fucking kinda hard on you? It was hard when I started, gonna be hard when I get through. Yeah. Would I be funky too? Funky to you. Do you like George? Ain't that funkin' kinda hard on you? It's hard when I started, be hard to get through. I'm not really thrilled with that right now. Hard to get with you, to get with. I had too much white in there, so we're gonna try to mix it out with throwing in the cobalt, throwing in the cerulean again. When I get, we'll get back into it. It's hard to be good. George, ain't that funkin' kinda hard on you? I was hard when I started, could be hard when I get through. Does be like George, ain't that funkin' kinda hard on you? I was hard when I started, gonna be hard when. Hard when you get through. And mind you, I still have, like I said, some greens going to go in here. It'll help level this out again. George, ain't that fucking kinda hard on you? It was hard when I started, gonna be hard when I get through. It's hard when it started. So I didn't think of you. There's nature to me. This was a great show. I'll be honest, man. Parliament was fucking amazing. I was so thrilled when I got to see them. I left because my Bands in Town app or whatever was like, oh, Parliament's coming near you again. I'm like, really cool, where? And it's like, Reading. I'm like, fuck you! doing fucking reading to fucking watch. Like, tell me when they come to, you know, well, I guess the Electro Factory's gone, but like, alright, Tower or something, you know, like. Keswick again. Shit, something like that. I guess it's my own fault, because I guess the Bands in Town thing says, oh, you'll go far for people, because we went and saw Gaelic Storm at, well, it's Mount Hope or whatever. Oh, color light's just dimmed. You guys see that? See the brown out? Dimmed a little bit. No? I'm hearing thunder. So we're getting near it, man. So I'm probably gonna have to, because if it gets dark in here, like this, at least lights go out. Like there's no outside source. There's a little thing by the door over there. That's the little door. That ain't gonna give us enough light to work off of. Yeah, or even like make it easy to get out of here. I'm going to use my phone to just see. Keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tide that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I've got it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day is through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. As sure as night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. Yes, I know I'd even try to turn the tide. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tide that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. It's like a bunch of little happy fireflies. They all run around trying to fuck. Just remember that when you're out in nature and you're thinking about how beautiful everything sounds, you hear the birds chirping and you're like, God, they sound so beautiful and happy up there. Just remember, what they're trying to do is either try and tell people, stay the fuck out of my space! Or they're trying to tell them, hey, who's down the fuck? That's pretty much what the birds are doing. Just remember. Same with if you like crickets noises and all that stuff. And the crickets. They're basically, again, I'm here. Who's down to fuck? And please, internet, do not take that out of context. Years from now, people are going to be like, ah, look, he said, who wants to fuck? He's a total disgusting pig. And I'll be like, cool, am I on the Supreme Court or what? Yeah, you see what I did there? Okay. No, fine, I'll just run for president. Okay, it's just bubbles. Gotta make sure there's no, like, paint in there. Did that once with a like watercolor bottle. Like I had, like it's like a mason jar like I have here. All it was a water bottle. Yeah. And it was like, or actually, I think it was Powerade. It's bigger. Yeah, like I had a bigger thing. Stuck the brushes in there. Yeah, wipe them off, and I just had them sitting there like it was just. I wasn't even paying attention because I had another Powerade like right next to it. It was just like, it doesn't take long to figure out. Oh, wrong one. It's like there's somebody that I never understood people that use this because like, dude, I have so many better uses for coffee mugs. But like somebody had there was a photo of like a coffee mug, and. One's the coffee mug with the brushes, the other is just a coffee mug, and they're like, oh, I almost made a horrible mistake. It's like, well, why the fuck did you do that anyway? To start. Like, look, I know I'm considering myself very lucky. My cousins gave me like literally like a box of mason jars. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ready to go, plus the 2 I've been using from them when they first came. So I had a total of 11 mason jars that I can use for my turpentine. In fact, I probably actually should just fill one up just in case if I forget to empty these ones. It's not a bad idea actually. Saves me the hassle. But anyway. But even before, like, that, like, a lot of times I was like, I've been in the spot where it's like I did not have a jar. I did not have anything that would use. So, usually what happens, I pound a water bottle, and I would just take a razor and cut off the top of it. Quick, easy, cheap. And the lights are blinking, I'm thinking it's all over when I go out drinking. Oh, look at my monster. That's why I don't fuck with the big bong. Oh, bro, I got to maintain. I won't say that word. Insane in the membrane. Pretty insane, got no brain. Insane in the brain. Threw a shit on the cover, now it's time for the blubber. Blubber. So watch that belly get fat, a fat boy on a diet. Don't try it. Jack your ass like a looter in the riot. My shit's fat like a sumo, slamming that ass. Leave your face in the grass. I don't take a dulo lightly. Punk just jealous cause you can't outright me. Kick that style. Wicked, wild. See me smile. That mainframe I'll explain. It's going insane. Insane in the brain. I've mentioned this on here before, but I always like to mention it. Like, My son one time was not happy when he was playing a game and he dropped trying to insult the person, dropped a very naughty word. And look, I've heard him openly drop F-bombs and stuff, and I've actually let it roll off the back a little bit, you know. If I've been in, like, sometimes he's dropped them, like, he won't drop them loud, but, like, sometimes I'll be, like, in the room and I hear kind of, like, you know, fuck. And it's like, look, I've had a mouth like a sailor. If you've listened to this show enough, or you listen to it tonight, I got a dirty mouth. I can mix it with the King's English when I want to. No, not as well as I used to, because again, I did lose a good portion of my vocabulary. But, I still can talk gooder than most people. Sorry. But anyway, so I don't really, I can't speak on a moral high ground there, for, you know, like, but he dropped an N-bomb once, and I scared the living shit out of him when I whipped around because he was in his room, and I was in the hallway at the time, and he drops it, and I flipped through that, like, I mean, like, I came barreling into his room so hard. I was like, no! I was like, seriously, there are 1,000 other words I was like, I've let you get away with. I'm like, when it comes to derogatories of race, sexual orientation, yeah, no, we're not playing those games. Those are just not done. I would sooner let him drop the big C, if you guys know what I'm talking about, than ever use those, like, at all. And look, this is from somebody, like, I mean, anyone who knows me has known for a long time. I am not just not racist. I am, like, openly against racism, and like that. I was in high school even. I got into, like, I won't say a fight, because I never fought them, per se. But I was definitely out to steal people away from them. Let's put it that way. They were a group of racists in my class, you know, school with skinheads and shit. And I was out actively trying to get people away from, like, in other words, people I knew that had fallen in with them. It was like, no, we're gonna get you back. I'm going to bring you home, you know, kind of thing. And I mean, I got what sort of happened that led them to fall in with that group, and so I was like, all right, man, you know, I'm going to pull you back. I'm going to get you back to where you need to be. You know, I wasn't going to give up on them. But, like, even as far as, like, when my band was in college, we covered Busta Rhymes' Woo-Ha. Just love that song to death. It was like, just, I mean, I remember when it first came out. I would, like, sit there. We put on, I was in publications, which was like a school newspaper class, so it was like bullshit class. So we turn on the TV all the time, turn on MTV, and just wait for it to come on. It was just, like, so good. Love that fucking video. So my band started covering it. It was like, oh my god, like, the bassist that we had at the time started playing. It was like, like, as soon as it started, I was like, oh my god, we're doing this right now. But I said there was one problem: is he drops the A ending of the N-word, which is only a slight difference, but it's enough to me to be like, I'm not comfortable with this. But I'm also not comfortable with, like, changing it to cracker. That's stupid. So I was like, dude, I started literally going to, like, all my black friends. And I was like, all right, this sounds stupid. I was like, this may sound really dumb. And I was like, but I seriously need your opinion. And in a sense, I need your blessing. If I get one of you guys says no, I'm not doing it. I was like, we'll figure something else out. But I was like, we're covering, you know, I said my band's covering it, wants to cover Woo-Ha. And I was like, can I say it? Like, I was like literally, like, to stay true to the song, because I explained to him, I don't want to drop it, because I think that's cheesy to go, oh, I'm going to change it to cracker. You know, like we're covering the song. We're doing it. I'm saying Busta Rhymes, true indeed. Like as if I'm Busta Rhymes. And I'm like, we're kicking that song. If we're doing it right. And I'm like, you know, we're giving it our own bit, but I'm like, I'm not shifting anything there. I mean, rap is literally, I don't want to say half beats, half rap, like half lyrics. It's I'd say almost 75% lyrics and beats, you know, to me at least. I know there's some that like you can listen to that people listen to. It's just not like much on lyrics wise. It's all about the beat, but to me, it's always about the like. If it's just like a half-assed lyrically written song, it's like no, don't listen to it. But anyway, so I was like, dude, like I said, I went to like every single friend of mine. I was like, am I allowed? If we were to perform this on stage, you are in the concert, you see me, you did not know me. Are you offended? And they were like, I mean, they were like, if you're not like hard R-ing it, and I'm like, no, I'm not hard R-ing it, man. I know. I'm like, okay, well, that, you know, and like, okay, and you're gonna be like, you're not like spoofing it, right? And I'm like, well, no, I'm like it's kind of a goofy song to begin with, so it's kind of hard to say like I'm not spoofing because it is kind of spoofy in a sense. I mean, and they're like, well, yeah, you know. So we had serious discussions about it, like especially me and my buddy Jay. We talked about that one a long time. And he was like, and he helped out sometimes. Like every now and then, if he was by for the practice, he'd drop in and do a verse just to kick it up. And you know, but I was seriously, I was like, even when I had everybody's permission, yeah, if you're gonna cover it good. I was like, okay, and we did a pretty good cover of it, I will say. But I was like, even then, I'm like, I'm still really not comfortable. I know I have literally everybody's permission. We never played it in public, you know, because we never got a gig. But like, I loved it, and I loved doing it. But it's like at the same point, the back of my head's going, you really shouldn't be saying this word, man. So like, I wanted to put that, you know, like. And it's I have a weird, like, my view on the history of that word is, like, it's kind of strange. Like, it's like, first off, I love the idea that the black community and the rap community using it in their lyrics and stuff as a means to try to take it back. And you know, to take the power out of it. I shouldn't say take it back, but take the power out of it. And I love it. I think that's brilliant. I think the problem lies in that there are people that, well, rap guys say, like, that they would not go through the procedure that I did to say, is it okay if I say it and I sing along with this? Like, I think they, you know, there's some people that just think, oh, well, that means the word's free to use, and they hard R it a lot. You know, there's some people I hear, you know, they're singing along in their cars and stuff, and you go, you did that, why you shouldn't have done that. And, but like I also like there's part of me that goes and there's part of me that thinks back to like say like Mark Twain books. Alright, you know, you talk about like Tom Sawyer and stuff like that. Okay. It's in there a lot, you know, and it's like you know, you don't want to censor, and you have to understand that, like, when Twain was doing it, especially, like, Twain was pointing out the problems with it. And again, this is where people get lost in sometimes where time has changed people's views on it, I think, in a lot of ways. And people that may not be heavily educated into Twain and his view of things, may not have realized that he was trying to make points against racism, and so, but that was stuff that was at the time, so, you know, he's hard doing it to make it visible, and, you know, at the time, it was, I think, more easily understood than it was now, if that makes sense. And it seems weird, but I think it does make it was something people got subtly, I guess. And so it's like part of me goes, I would like the word almost stricken out of the English language, but I also don't, because it has a history. It has a point that, if you learn properly from it, helps eliminate, conceptualizations of racism. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that do not. And that's just sad. So I don't know what the solution is in that. So here's what I'm basically looking at right now. What I'm pretty much betting on. For Sunday. Sunday, I'm pretty much of the mind that I'm going to have to literally do all that. Anywhere you see the blue that's not touched with the white dash on top of it, it has to be redone. Because it's probably going to dry on me, despite the fact that it's mixed with medium that's supposed to keep it wet. Despite the fact it's sort of thick and it shouldn't be foaming that fast. But knowing how this blue has been for me for the past few months, even in the newer tube, it's been this way. That's probably going to all dry up on me. I expect everything on the palette to dry up into those big globs like that. So I'm going to try to pour some medium on it, hope it'll hold. Maybe just drop some. Maybe I'll just throw the oil on there. Let's see if the oil does it. Try to glob them together a little better too. Let's do that real quick. Oh, I stuck my finger in the magenta thing the other day. Get in there. Now I want to get off of the brush. Off the palette knife. Piece of shit. Like I said, I expect it to, unfortunately, dry. So we're going to have to redo a lot of stuff, so I'll be honest, it's not going to be very exciting. Especially because it's probably going to be a short episode on Sunday, too. Because, again, probably can't get into here till about 7:30, and then 8:45 I got cut out for walking, so I get cleaned up for time for Walking Dead. Monday is not a very long episode either, but hopefully we get a little bit more done. Because there's going to be spots I still got to go back in with blue, because it's. I want them to be sharp. I want the dashes to be sharp and separate. So there's going to be a couple spots where I have to keep going back and put the blue in. I'll go back with a little bit of the white. I'll go back in with a little bit of the yellow. I'll go back in with a little bit of the, a little green or whatever. A little turquoise blue is going to throw in there too. So we got a lot of stuff to do still. But I mean, it's not terrible progress tonight. It's not exactly where I wanted to be, but it's not bad. So like I said, Sunday. It's probably going to be 7:30. I'd say keep an eye on my Instagram at MenaceArt. And, and again, I'll say it again. Because I'm still short, right? Okay, I'll hover into view. Okay. I'm at 47 followers. I got 3 to go. 3 to go. You guys, if there's somebody viewing this, I don't know who's here. Doesn't tell me that. It says there's somebody here. You got somebody. Click tell them to click like or click follow, whatever. I mean, and it's at 50. I'm doing a giveaway. It's a drawing. Check it out on my Instagram. It's the last drawing really that's on there, like drawing. I think there's you might see a drawing of the painting I've done previously. It's the one of the bridge of Tredyffrin Farm. You can't miss it. It's like got a crazy tribalism look on it. So, anyways, that's that. So, we're gonna call it a night, and we'll see you guys on Sunday.